Good evening to all of you. Now we are going to see what is the torque on a current carrying loop placed in a uniform magnetic field. Well, I have shown the current carrying magnetic field, current carrying loop in the xy plane. This is x, this is y, 0, I is the current. It's a planar loop, it's in the xy plane, and I've shown a small element dl of the loop and the position vectors from the center of mass of the loop. There is it could be the center of mass or it could be any point on the loop, need not be the center of mass. I will call this as some o dash. Okay, so from o dash on the plane of the loop, I have shown a position vector r. I have also shown a position vector r plus dr, slightly more than that, at a different position. So, for finding out the torque, there is some vector algebra, some basics of vector algebra which we must be familiar with. So, first thing is, in this triangle, we can apply the triangle law of addition. So I can say vector r plus dl will be equal to r plus dr. That will give us r cancels and that will give us dl is equal to dr. This is the first conclusion that we draw. Then the next thing is why we are not using dr is because dl is the standard notation. The length of the infinitesimal length of the loop, that is a standard notation. So that is why we have used dl and said dr is nothing but dl. Then the area of this triangle, the area dA of the triangle is given by half r cross dl. Please note that if you have a triangle and if this is vector A and this is vector B, then the area vector is given by half A cross B. So we have two vectors here, R and dl. So R cross dl will be the area vector of this portion. When we integrate this, we are going to get the complete area of the loop. Okay, that is why we need this. This is the second equation which we will be using. Then if you have three vectors, their cross products, A cross B cross C plus B cross C cross A plus C cross A cross B will be 0. Yes, this is the result we will be using. So see the order in which we have written A, B, C. I push B to the left. That is, there is a cyclic rotation of these three vectors A, B, C, B, C, A, C, A, B. So this is the third equation which we will be using. Now we know that a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field experiences a force. The question is, how much is this force, and if there is a force, is it necessary that there will be a torque? Let us see these things. First of all, the current element is defined as IDL. The current into the length of the conductor dl is the current element, and the force dF on this current element is given by IDL cross D. Yes, that is the force. Well, let us try to find the total force. The total force from the conductor would be integral dF, that is equal to integral IDL cross D. So this will be, I will be out of the integral and we will have integral dl cross b. B is also out of the integral because it is a constant. I is also a constant. Integral dl over the entire loop. I will put a circle on the integral sign that shows it is over the entire loop. So dl, 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 if you add it up, it is a polygon of vectors and you reach the starting point. So the sum total of all the vector sum of all these dl vectors would be 0. So this is 0. Therefore the net force is 0. Now if the net force is 0, is it necessary that the torque must be 0? Well, not at all. For instance, if you are holding the steering of a car and applying a force, one upward force and one downward force, the net force on the steering wheel is 0, but there is a torque. Both are additive. This has a clockwise torque, this also has a clockwise torque. So there is a torque. This is a couple. This is known as a couple. The net force is 0, but the torque is not 0. Very similarly, here the net force is 0, F net, F total is 0. The torque need not be 0. In fact, we will see that it is not 0 in this case. So, since we have got the net force as 0, we could take the torque about any point. We can take the torque about any point. We could take it about O, we could take it about O dash, we could take it about some point C, any point we would take. But for convenience sake, we have taken a point O dash on the body itself. This O dash, as I said, could be the center of mass of the loop also. So, how will that torque be? The torque d tau would be the force R cross the force, R cross df. So this would be R cross IDL cross B, because df is IDL cross B. So R cross df would be IDL cross B. Now we will use this identity, vector identity number 3 for this vector. This vector we can write it as R cross IDL cross B. These are the three vectors A, B, C. So I am going to write the other two terms and equate it to 0. See how things proceed. So this will be plus IDL cross B cross R plus B cross R cross IDL, that is equal to 0. Yes. So now this term is the torque term. This term is the torque term. So I will write it as d tau plus IDL cross B cross R plus B cross R cross IDL equal to 0. Now we are going to do a small manipulation. See, the vector R is given and B is a constant. So I can say that R cross B, this is a constant, because for a given R and for a given B, this cross product would be a constant. Now because this is a constant, the differential of this must be equal to 0. So I will find the differential of this. And the differential of this would be 0. So let's do the differential. We'll use the UV rule, the product rule for differentiation. We'll first differentiate this, keep this constant, keep this constant, differentiate this. So this would be dr cross R cross B plus R cross dr cross B equal to 0. Yes? Now look at this term. you have an ideal B cross R. Ideal B cross R. We can get that here. See, I can multiply throughout by I and replace dr by dl. We already saw that. And I am going to multiply this entire thing by I. So I will have IDL cross R cross B plus R cross IDL cross B equal to 0. Yes? Now come to this equation. If you came to this equation, you got ideal cross B cross R. Now here I got ideal cross R cross B. So if I interchange B and R, I will get a minus sign. So I will get minus ideal cross B cross R plus R cross ideal cross B equal to 0. Therefore, this quantity would be equal to, I can say, ideal, if I take it to the other side, ideal cross B cross R would be equal to R cross ideal cross B. Yes? Now I will replace yes, there was a power failure. Now I will replace ideal cross B cross R by this term. So what does that become? We shall remember these two expressions. We shall write it somewhere. I shall clean this here and put it for you here. Basically, we already know dl is dr, that we have already utilized, and I'll just write the area term for you. The area term dA is half r cos dl. So that is equation 2. That is equation 2. I will call this equation as 4. This 4. What happens to this 4? 4 would become d tau and ideal cross B cross R. Ideal cross B cross R is R cross ideal cross B. R cross ideal cross B is again nothing but d tau. So the second term also becomes d tau. So you have got d tau plus d tau is equal to, transfer it to the other side, minus B cross R cross ideal. Yes? So this would be d tau would be equal to half 2 d tau. 2 d tau, you will have 2 d tau, that is equal to, now I will interchange these two terms and get rid of this minus sign. So I will have R cross ideal cross B here, and d tau will be equal to half R cross ideal cross B. Now half R cross dl is dA, and so this current I can take it out common, so I can put it as IdA cross B. That is the expression for the infinitesimal torque. Okay. Now to get the total torque, we have to integrate this. If you integrated that, you are going to get the torque tau as integral IdA cross B. So D is a constant, so integral dA is A, you will get I, the total area of the loop, I into A cross B. That will be the total torque. I into A is called as the magnetic dipole moment of the loop and is represented by the symbol vector mu. So we have the expression torque is equal to M cross B. This is for any general loop of any shape. Yes, planar loop. In fact, even if the loop is not planar, you can use this because area as a vector, you can take the various area vectors and add them up and do it. Right now we are saying that it is a planar loop, but it is in general it could be a three-dimensional loop also. Now let us take a simple example where we have a current carrying coil suspended from the ceiling and there is a horizontal magnetic force. There is a horizontal magnetic force. So you have a loop here, current carrying loop of radius r, and there is a magnetic field B like this horizontal. Okay, so we would like to find the torque on this loop, and the moment this current passes, what is the angular acceleration alpha of the loop? It is a circular loop. The mass of this is capital M, radius is given as r. So what will be the torque? See, the area vector would be into the board. Yes. So torque is going to be M cross B, that is MB, magnitude of the torque will be MB sine 90. Yes, because area vector is into the board, B is on the board, so it is sine 90. Torque is MB sine 90 degrees. So this would be, M would be the current I into the area is pi r squared into B into 1. Torque is momentum inertia into alpha. The momentum inertia of a ring about its diameter is going to rotate about its diameter, okay, would be mr squared by 2. So this would be mr squared by 2 into alpha. So r squared cancels and you get 2I pi b by m as the angular acceleration. The angular acceleration would be, it would be in radians per second squared. Okay. Let's take another problem. This is a slightly tricky problem. Let us take this tricky problem. There is a long wire, current carrying wire. This is a, I have shown it as a cross. This is say I naught, that is a long current carrying wire. We are seeing the side view of it. And here you find that there is a loop, another current carrying loop. This is the bisector, angle bisector, this is alpha and this is alpha. This distance is A and this whole distance up to there, this whole distance, this is A and this is B. This is B and this is A. Okay, and the current here is let us say I. Okay, we wish to find the torque on this current carrying loop due to the magnetic field from here. Now you see the magnetic field produced by this would be concentric circles. So I can draw a magnetic line of force at some general distance r, and the magnetic field B would be mu naught I naught. Mu naught is the permeability of free space by 2 pi r. That is B. Now this B is varying from point to point. The magnitude keeps varying from at the radial distance. As r changes, B is going to change. So therefore, what we will now do is try to take an area of a loop of thickness dr. So the area dA would be equal to the magnetic moment. Yes, the first, let's say the area of that thin part of the sector. That area would be, the arc is 2 alpha. The arc angle is 2 alpha. 2 alpha into the radius r will be the arc length into dr. That would be the area. Now we want to find out the torque. Let's say torque is m cross d. D tau. Yes, we can find d tau is equal to dm cross d. So dm would be into the board. If you take the small loop, yes, current in this loop, the area vector would be into the board, and B is on the plane of the board. So the angle between dm and B is 90. So dm would be the current I into the area, which is 2 alpha r dr, into B. B is mu naught I naught by 2 pi r. So r would cancel, 2 cancels, r cancels, and I get d tau as I into alpha into r into mu naught. So I'll write it like this: mu naught first, mu naught I into I naught into alpha into dr by pi. If I integrated this, the limits of r are from A to B. So I'll get the total torque as mu naught I naught into alpha by r. Integral dr is r. If I put the limits, I'll get d minus a. Now, this answer is wrong. It's not correct. Purposely I have done it because we can make this mistake. What is the mistake here? See, you can use this formula tau is equal to m cross b only if the magnetic field is constant. But if you see here, the magnetic field, although its direction is magnitude is constant, its direction is changing continuously. Therefore, the magnetic field is not constant. And because the magnetic field is not constant, we cannot use this formula. So what should you do? Go to basics. The basics are finding the force and then the torque. Yes, finding the force and then the torque from it. So let us see. Let me draw this for you. This is the thing, and this is all dotted. This is alpha. So now you can see the current is this way, flowing this way. The current is flowing this way. Now I could choose a small element dr here. Let's say at a distance r, this is a and this is b. The inner radius is a, the outer radius is b. I'm choosing r there and a small element dr. So the element would be idr. The element would be idr, and the magnetic field due to this at this point, yes, would be like that. Magnetic field would be like that. Yes, the magnetic field is, let me show that clearly. This is the magnetic dipole, and B at this point is going to be like that, and B we already saw is mu naught I naught by 2 pi r. So now the force dF is IdL cross B. So how is IdL? IdL is like that, and IdL cross B. IdL cross B. If I did it, the force is into the board. This force dF is into the board. Now we take a symmetrical point here. The current is this way, and B is like this. So IdL cross B, the force would be outward. Yes, the force would be outward. dF. dF, the force is going to be outward. Both these forces constitute a couple. They are equal and opposite, and they constitute a couple. So I will have several couples along this line from A to B, along the radius A to B, and again on this. So there will be certain, so I will find the torque of this couple and integrate. Now as far as this is concerned, if the force on all these would be 0. Why? Because the element IdL and B are collinear. The magnetic field due to this is along this wire. So IdL cross B would be 0 because the angle is 0, 180 rather, IdL and B. Here again I would have IdL like that and B would be like this. So IdL and B are collinear, so the force would be 0. There is no force on this, so there is no torque due to current here. There is no force here, and so there is no torque. So only these two forces which form a couple. So what is the torque? The torque eta would be the perpendicular distance between these two forces. That is nothing but, this is alpha, this is a right angle triangle, this is 90, this is r, so this would be r sine alpha, that is, it would be df, r, d tau is r, the perpendicular distance, I will call that as some d, into d cross df. So d and df are perpendicular, so the magnitude would be d into df into sine 90. So d is 2r. Yes, this is r sine alpha in this right angle triangle. This is r. The opposite side is r sine alpha. So total perpendicular distance would be d would be 2r sine alpha. df is IdL cross B, IdL cross B, that is I, dl is nothing but dr, yes, this dl is nothing but dr, so IdL cross B, and that is going to be, B is mu naught I naught, this is I naught, the current is I naught, we are going to substitute for B, mu naught I by 2 pi r. So 2 cancels, r cancels, and you will have basically you are going to have mu naught I naught I naught I naught mu naught I naught. You will have sine alpha and dr by pi. That is your d tau. If you integrated that, you get the tau as mu naught I naught sine alpha. Integral dr is r, limits from a to b, similar integration. You will have b minus a by pi. So compare this and this. This is the correct answer. So if you compare these two results, everything is the same except that instead of alpha, you are having sine alpha. Okay? Now see a very interesting thing. Supposing alpha is very small. I know if alpha is very small, if I take that sector is going to be within that sector, the field would be, the magnetic field would be nearly having the same direction. In other words, it would be uniform if alpha is small. For small, 2 alpha rather, alpha or 2 alpha, because this is alpha and this is alpha. If 2 alpha is very small, you would have the two sectors to be very small, that is, they will be like that. Let me redraw that. A and B doesn't change, so you have the same thing, but this is A, this is B, and this angle is 2 alpha. So if you took a dr here, B is going to be, the direction of B is going to be nearly the same. So therefore, you can use this formula. So if alpha is small, sine alpha equal to alpha, and both these results match. Thank you.